is how you replace a starter in a 9600. Can you hear that? It sounds like a machine gun going off. That's the sound of a bad starter. It's the way it always works. My field's right there, 200 yards away, and I can't go get it because my starter went out. Anyways, let's go take a closer look so you can hear what that bad starter sounds like. If you ever have starting issues with one of these things, always do this first before you change the starter. It'll save you lots and lots of money and potentially tons of time. But if you look here on the batteries, here's your ground cable coming in. Here's another potential thing to check. Make sure these are your starting solenoids under here. Make sure these are nice and tight. But most importantly, I mean, yeah, obviously check your connections, but take this ground wire off here and clean that connection up right there. That will save you tons and tons of time. Do that first before you start messing with batteries, before you start messing with starters or any of the other electrical components. That will more than likely be your issue. Right here, again, take that off, polish it all up and everything. That is what my whole problem was with this combine. And I changed the starter, I changed a couple solenoids, did some new ground wires, yeah, and that was my culprit the whole time. Okay, this is what it sounds like. So to get to the starter on these 9600s is really nice. Let me hop back here for you guys. If you look, we're in the grain tank here now, and if you look, right here's a shield. I popped that off. There's like 6 or 7 bolts. It's an 8 millimeter, I'm sorry, it's a 10 millimeter bolt. Pop those off, and then right there, bam, is the starter. But before I hop all the way down in there, I'm gonna do this one more time so you can really hear what a bad starter sounds like. Say hello to my little friend! It's actually a 19 on this electrical side. And starter shut. Come off there, sucker. 3 there. Okay, so that part's pretty darn easy right there. Next we have a 14 metric. Should slip right back over here over these things. This is where it gets tricky, guys. And they made it so you have to only do this with a wrench. You jackass engineers. Okay. Just like that. And that. Well, the next 20 minutes is probably going to be nothing but me cussing engineers and turning this wrench this much each time. Boop, boop, boop. So we'll just fast forward here a little bit. Power. Oh, God dang, I bet that thing weighs 60 pounds. Doesn't look too bad, but oh yeah, you can see I got a crack right there. Okay, let's take this starter in, swap it out for a good old-fashioned remanufactured one. Let's look at this thing here. So yeah, our starter doesn't look in that bad a shape, but there's something, I bet you, inside of here that's just not letting the power click over 100% to really give it the full engagement. Yeah, so we got our wires hooked back up to our starter here. Now all we have left to do is tighten them down. There. Should be good to go. Now let's go hook the battery up. Sure hope that's what it was. If not, I'll find out in about 2 seconds. So that starter cost $600. Let's see if it was the problem. I sure hope it was. Got an anger issue right now. Oh man, god dang it. Ugh. Again, take that off, polish it all up and everything. That is what my whole problem was with this combine. And I changed the starter, I changed a couple solenoids, did some new ground wires, yeah, and that was my culprit the whole time. But let's check this thing out, show you guys how it started. It works really good now. Well, she fired up. It was a little cold today. I lost some of that footage, so I had to come back and remake it. But anyways, the starter works now, which is awesome. That ought to be good for another 10 years. Phew. It's always the dirtiest place to get into. Okay, well guys, that's how you change the starter on a 9600 John Deere combine.